Daddy, can you tell me a bedtime story?
Sure. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, well, how about I tell you about when I was in third grade?
Mhm.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Well, when I was in third grade, I was what people call a dork.
What?
Yeah. What I would do is I would run around the uh, play yard on recess time,
Mhm.
and I would yell out, "Here I come to save the day!" And then when I would pass by the girls, they'd be like, "You're such a dork," and the guys would be like, "Dude, you're an idiot. That's so annoying. You need to stop." But the thing was that I really liked that song because there was this cartoon called Mighty Mouse, and Mighty Mouse would beat up any animal who was bothering the weak animals. And he would come and he would save the day. So I'd be running around singing it. Here I come to save the day. But, you know, when I was at that age, I didn't care what people thought about me.
Mhm.
It wasn't until I was like in sixth grade that I started caring what people thought about me.
Mhm.
I started to care a lot about what people thought about me. I remember that I would dress funny, or at least the girls thought I would dress funny with striped shirts and shorts and some basketball shoes. Um, but they would make fun of that. They were like, "You look like a dork. You look like a nerd." And they would make fun of my haircut too because I had a lot of hair when I was young. So what I did was I started to see what other people thought it was cool, what the guys thought was cool, and what the girls thought was cool. And then I started dressing like the cool guys were dressing. And at the time, to be a cool guy, you had to be wearing pants that looked like you stole them from your grandpa or something, you know, those big old baggy pants. Um, and so that's what I started to wear. That's what I started to wear. Um, and I remember the first day of school of junior high of the second semester. You know how there's first semester and second semester?
No, I don't know what that is.
Well, you know how you had the Christmas break?
Mhm.
So after the Christmas break, that's when I started dressing like a gangster. And when the girl saw me, she didn't recognize me. She was staring at me like the whole time during class. I was like, such a weirdo. You know who I am. Why are you looking at me like that? Then after class, she was like, um, "You're George, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, you look so cute," she said. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever, you know. But I was shy at the same time. And she's like, "Can I rub your head?" Since I was bald, you know. I was like, "All right, I guess." And she did. She rubbed my head, and I really liked it. From then on, I really started to care what people thought about me, but in the wrong ways. I would start doing what the bad guys were doing, you know, what the bad boys were doing. They didn't go to school. I didn't go to school either. I would go to school whenever I wanted. I would get into fights. I would talk like they talk. So if they said bad words, me too. If they drank, me too. I would only imitate the bad stuff. I wouldn't imitate the good stuff. I stopped hanging around with my friends that I had. Everybody called them nerds, but they were really smart. And they were good kids, you know. They weren't bad kids. But I didn't want to hang out with them because I didn't want other people seeing me with the nerds. I was like, that's embarrassing. I don't want to hang out with nerds. Um, so I didn't hang out with them anymore. But like I said, I started doing things that I wasn't supposed to and caring about what people thought about me. It wasn't until I went to jail that I realized that um, it doesn't matter what people think about you, it matters what God thinks about you. And the book of Samuel talks about King David and how Samuel the prophet went to go looking for the new king of Israel. God told him to go do that. When he got to David's house, David wasn't there, but his 6 brothers were. And one of David's brother was very handsome, the Bible says, and very tall. So Samuel thought in his mind, oh, this must be the guy. But God whispered in his ear, nope, this is not the man I have chosen. He says, I don't look at people's appearance, people's outside appearance. The Lord looks at what's in the heart. And that made me think, because David was a little small guy. I'm pretty sure everybody, when they chose him, they were like, you have got to be yanking on my leg that you chose this puny little guy, man. No way. No way, Jose. You know? How could they possibly pick this guy who smells like a sheep? He was taking care of the sheep all day long. I'm pretty sure he smelled like one. You know? How could God possibly choose this stinky little guy? Right? Why would he do that? But again, God didn't look at what people look at on the outside. He saw David's heart. And remember, David was the only one who fought against Goliath. His brothers, even the tall one, the good looking one, he didn't fight Goliath. It was David. Little tiny, sheep smelling, puny little David was the one who fought big old Goliath, right? So just remember that God is the one who cares what's in our hearts, and it doesn't matter what people think about us, right?
Yep.